day, learners. I am teacher Jessica Alcaraz-Sungwad, your teacher in statistics and probability. We are in quarter 3, week 7, and for week 7, we will be talking about percentiles and T-distribution. We have two learning competencies for this week, which can be seen in your learning activity sheets. For the explore, write your answer in your notebook and check your answer with the answer key at the end of the activity sheets. For letter A, you're going to find the percentile. For letter B, you're going to answer 3 questions. The T-distribution, also called student's T-distribution, is a family of distribution that look almost identical to the normal distribution curve, only a bit shorter and stouter. The T-distribution is used instead of the normal distribution when you have small samples. The larger the sample size, the more the T-distribution looks like the normal distribution. In fact, for sample sizes larger than 20, example, more degrees of freedom, the distribution is almost exactly like the normal distribution. The T-distribution is similar to a normal distribution. It has a precise mathematical definition. Instead of diving into complex math, let's look at the useful properties and the T-distribution of the T-distribution and why it is important in analysis of any set of statistical quantitative data. Like the normal distribution, the T-distribution has a smooth shape. Like the normal distribution, the T-distribution is symmetric. If you think about folding it in half at the mean, each side will be the same. Like the standard normal distribution or z-distribution, the T-distribution has a mean of 0. The normal distribution assumes the population standard deviation is known. The T-distribution does not make this assumption. The T-distribution is defined by the degrees of freedom. These are related to the sample size. The T-distribution is almost useful for for small sample sizes when the population standard deviation is not known or both. As the sample size increases, the T-distribution becomes more similar to a normal distribution. So you just have to take note that the degrees of freedom refers to the maximum number of logically independent values which vary in the sample data. So degrees of freedom stands for DF. Percentile is a measure of position when with data divided into 100 parts. For number 1, identify the t-value whose number of sample n equals 7 and has the area alpha equals 0.05. So since our sample is 7, so the degree of freedom is n minus 1. So our degrees of freedom for number 1 is 6 here. And our alpha is 0.05, so it's here. So the intersection of 0.05 and 6 is 1.943. So that's our t-value for number 1. For number 2, find the t-values. Degrees of freedom is 20 and alpha equals 0.01. So for number 2, we are already given with the degrees of freedom, which is 20. So it's here. And our alpha, which is 0.01. So the intersection of degrees of freedom, which is 20, and alpha equals 0.01 is 2.528. For number 3, identify the t-value of the following percentile given the number of samples. So for letter A, you have 95th percentile and n equals 30. So since our percentile is 95th, so the remaining value for alpha is 0.05. And our degrees of freedom is 29. So you have there 0.05 and 29. So our t-value is 1.699. For letter B, our n is 20 and we are looking for the 90th percentile. So if that is 90th percentile, you have 0.1 as your area for alpha. And since you have
and equals 20. So our degrees of freedom is 19 and 0.01. So our area or the t value is 1.328.
For the engaged, you're going to complete the table below by identifying the degrees of freedom, right-tiled area, and the t-value for each percentile and the sample size. Write your answer in your notebook and check your answer with the answer key at the end of the activity sheet. For the apply, which will serve as your assessment, choose the letter of the correct answer. Write your answer on a yellow paper. So that is 10 items, 1 point each. Again, I keep on reminding you, avoid copying from your classmates. That's all for week 7. Thank you and God bless.